whenever something really hard is going on, I always tell myself, ooh, something really good is about to just happen. Like something sick is coming right around the corner.
So what if the signs that you're getting, maybe angel numbers, synchronicities, gut feelings, they're all actually messages from the universe to show you if you're on the right path, if you're going the correct way, and so forth. This is what we're really going to get into because me and Natasha see signs everywhere. And then right behind my head is 444 from Garrett's arm. And that's always been my sign. I literally have a ring that's 444.
We're aligned right now with this podcast.
At some point you need to show them your arm. But that just shows that this episode is the right one to do because he was just lifting his arm and then it was like 444. But I started seeing signs when I started getting very spiritual, and we were kind of talking about this before we started filming, and we were saying that when I started getting very spiritual, I started seeing 444 everywhere, and then you started getting spiritual, and I was like, the universe is talking to you, and you're like, I don't see it.
Yeah, I just remember being like, she was all the time pointing out, like, I see them there, and synchronistic numbers there, and I was just like, I don't see it. And then she's like, okay, well, first practice, like, actually, I remember you're like, allow it and don't force it, because that was important. Like, because at first when you're not seeing signs, you feel like you're not special, or am I doing something wrong? And then like, or I was just thinking, is she imagining it? Like, you just think the worst. So it was cool that when you were just like, no, just say that you're someone that sees them now, and like just allow it with like no pressure. And then I just started like, at first I was just like, okay, at first I was looking for it, and then eventually I was just like, oh, now I can't not see them. It's like a fucking joke how much I see them. And I remember not seeing them, which is wild.
And it's funny because if you're someone that sees signs and you're with someone that doesn't, they always think you're like, I mean, maybe this is in my own head, and it's usually with guys I'm dating. I'm like, oh, 444, we're on the right way. And like, I'll say stuff and they're like, probably like, you're so annoying.
Sure.
So that's how you feel after a while when you're seeing them everywhere? Or like for an example, the sign I saw yesterday is, I'm realizing like a limiting characteristic about myself, or a personality trait. I guess it's I'm not going to label it as me because it's a part of me I can release. And I'm noticing this part of me that in certain situations, only with people I'm extremely close with, that I get angry if I feel misunderstood. And so my sign yesterday was when I was walking. I know this sounds really Looney Tune, actually, now that I'm going down this path.
That's what you're here for.
But
the real honest truth.
But right when I was leaving, I'm like, I wonder where this anger comes from. Like, why when I get super defensive and I want to go into fight mode. And it literally a big truck drove past me, and it says warrior right when I was leaving, and I was saying, I wonder where this anger is coming from, which sparked me into a memory of a while ago when I first started being spiritual. I went to this like breathwork class, and they were like breathing, and this woman energy reader went over everyone, and she was telling them like their energy, and she told me, you were a warrior in a past life. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was saying, I wonder where this anger is coming from. And then I saw the sign warrior, and then I was like, maybe that's why I like watching all these shows. Like, war I love movies. The Last Kingdom, not war movies, not today's fighting. Date. I only like the old like period pieces where like swords. So I watch all that type of stuff. I'm obsessed with it. I watch like guy stuff. And so like the Vikings and all that. So maybe I was some type of warrior. But anyways, the universe is like constantly speaking to us, and it's wild once you start to like be more present and, like you said, allow it to come and not force it. You could start to ask questions, and then it will show up. And then when you start living like this, I feel like the world is so much more exciting.
So much more fun, because also you do feel like you're not scared to start new businesses or start new adventures or go to different places, because whenever we're unsure, there's things that we do. Like, I like that tip that you gave me back in the day when you're like, okay, just tell the universe, like, if I'm supposed to go hang out with this person or date this person, say that you want to see a shark. And if you're not supposed to, say that you want to see an octopus or whatever.
Yeah, that was that other sign.
Happen. Yeah, yes. I was like, I love
that. Was a good one.
Yeah.
There was this guy, there was two guys like years ago that I couldn't decide. I'm like, they're both great. And I was thinking about one, and then I was hanging out with the other, and I was just like, which one is the right one? And she was bringing that up. I was like, okay, universe, show me a shark if this person's the right one, and show me like an owl Oh wait, it was like that was it. It was show me a shark if this person isn't the right one, and show me like an owl if it is or something. And then all day I couldn't see anything. I was like, wow, I'm like blocked. I haven't seen a shark yet. I haven't seen an owl all day. Then at nighttime, I said to my friend on the phone, I was talking on the phone, and I randomly said, "What's your favorite animal?" And they said shark, and I was like, oh my gosh. There's my sign. He is not the right one. They just randomly said shark.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a pretty weird favorite animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it could come
in random times. No, yeah. And another way that I like seeing signs, because I dedicate an animal to my angels or like to my higher self. Whenever I'm going through a hard time, I've always just said like, okay, when my higher self is talking to me or whenever they're trying to like to send me a signal, they come through hummingbirds, because hummingbirds aren't as like common. You don't see them everywhere. I wouldn't do like a pigeon. But it's wild because once I dedicated that animal, I was like, okay, I'm always going to see hummingbirds when I'm on the right path or when I'm making a decision, just come and show me like. And there were so many times, like there was a time when I was like breaking up with a guy and I wasn't sure if I should be breaking up with him. And then literally a hummingbird came like right past me. And then there was other times where I'm starting a new business or a new idea, and then I'll see a hummingbird like perched outside the window. Or even when I was first dating someone new, we went to like a store and they just had a bunch of hummingbirds, and it was cool because it was like the first time we traveled together, and it was like letting me know like, yes, this is like the right person, like you're hanging.
Wow.
So it would always just come to me like, and I always know, I'm like, oh, hummingbirds. Like I just got a good idea recently because I started doing things with my dreams, and we'll get into that. But as soon as I figured out a message that my higher self was trying to tell me, 2 hummingbirds were just sitting outside the window, and it's 2 because it was about me and another person. So it was just like, they always just come to me through animals.
I was gonna say mine is bees, which you know, and I just like bees always come to me, and I have something else I've been working on around like bees. But now it's to the point where I know they're assigned so much that anytime they're around me, I've let them literally land on me and like land on my leg and just chill there, because I like feel like I know it's
my higher self.
We're connected. And anyone else would be like, are you crazy? I've picked them up. I've helped them get like out of the pools. I've I love
and they've
bees.
Never stung you.
Yeah, they just like, we're homies now. We're cool.
Good.
But yeah, so it's crazy once you start to see, you just know that you have a connection with this other side and this like synchronicities, and it depends on like, I guess everyone has different things they obviously believe in.
Yeah.
But I always pray to my angels all the time. I'm obsessed. And if anyone really knows me, they see that I have 2 different angels on my necklace.
Yeah.
And so I have like angels that I connect with. And I think everyone has different beliefs around what that is. But I think at the end of the day, it's just believing that there's something more into this universe. And once you see it, it's hard not to see it.
You can't go backwards.
Yeah.
Also, it becomes stronger the more you connect with it, I've noticed. Because she connects with her angels. I connect with what I call my higher self, because I did an ayahuasca journey. And I've always like known that, but then when I did the ayahuasca journey, even more, I was going through a really hard period of it where I had to go through like fear, ancestral fear that was passed down, and it was just like the worst feeling ever. You're just feeling afraid the whole time. I was like, what a fun feeling. And then through it, I asked my higher self, I was like, can you please help me? Like I need help just like moving around and doing things, and because I was like in a scared place, and it literally like took over my body and helped me. Like when I had a shower after the ayahuasca, it like helped me move and like do things. So I was like, oh, higher self is real. Like someone else.
We know higher self is so real, because literally this is crazy. And I don't even know this is to do with signs or anything, but I literally I stopped drinking coffee for like 6 months or something, and I changed to matcha. And then every once in a while, I'm like, I would love a coffee. And I've been getting decaf because I had anxiety and I stopped drinking a lot of caffeine, and hence why I got off the coffee. So then I started getting decaf coffees. And every single time I get a decaf coffee, no matter what, I got a migraine the rest of the day. And I was like, there's barely any caffeine in this. Jesus. Like, what the heck? And no matter what, I had the worst migraine. And then one time and this just shows you how much I love coffee, because really, why would you ever do it again? But one time I was like, I just want to be be able to drink coffee again. And I told you, I was like at a restaurant, I was like, they were all getting vanilla lattes. I'm like, I want a vanilla latte. And then you're like, just tell yourself your body is going to completely be able to digest it. Like, make a prayer over it. And I'm like, you're right. I forgot about that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. I ordered the coffee, put my hands around it, and imagined white light coming out of my hands. And I said, this coffee is going to perfectly digest through my body, and it's going to completely be okay with me. My body's going to know what to do with it and release any negative toxins, and I'm going to be fine. And I made that prayer, and I didn't have a headache. And now every single time, if I want to drink coffee, I have to make that prayer, and I don't get a headache.
Yeah. I do it with alcohol now too.
Yeah, I was going to say then alcohol.
Because alcohol, I would just, for me in general, alcohol doesn't digest well with me. Like I black out way too easily off of like 2 shots. It doesn't even make sense. So I like started praying over it, because alcohol is a lower frequency. So sometimes it can make people bring out parts of them they need to heal, like insecurities, or just the way that they treat people is not the best. So what was really cool is I started praying over it and saying that it's going to actually give me a heightened frequency, and that my higher self is going to stay connected to me the whole time. The reason I say that is just because sometimes when you're blacked out or something, you're not connected to like your higher self. There's like, that's why you're on
you could be on lower vibrational
Yeah.
version of yourself, like insecure, emotional, like negative parts can come out rather than positive.
Yeah. So I had told myself, like, now whenever I drink alcohol, and it fucking works. Because at first I was praying over it, and I would say like, okay, higher self, stay with me, and like make sure nothing, like I'm in a high frequency. And at first I couldn't get buzzed anymore, and that
it would keep me sober then the whole night.
We're like, why are we even drinking?
Everyone that does it, I'm telling you, you will not even feel a
test
buzz.
it. Trust me, it sounds crazy, but it fucking happened. So then now I researched it to figure out how you're supposed to do it, and you say, higher self, stay with me and keep me in a high frequency, so then whenever I but I also still want to feel the buzz. So I've been doing that lately, and I've been like so hyper like buzzed. Instead of like before, I noticed when I would drink, I'd be kind of like more tired. Yeah. And now when I do, I'm like in the best mood.
But
and I only
the
need,
main
like,
thing about that too, that was huge for me and you that I forgot about previously, is because people might be thinking this. We didn't notice that alcohol wasn't bringing out a good side of us until we started raising our vibration organically sober. So once we started seeing the signs and connecting with the universe and meditating and doing mental health and wellness and things that bring us self-love, when you do those things, your energy starts to increase. So your vibration starts to increase. You're more connected to your higher self. And then when you drink alcohol, which is a depressant and a lower vibration, you can literally feel that it's bringing you down. Whereas a lot of people are not doing those steps. So when they drink alcohol, they just are like having fun, and they're like, what do you mean it makes me more fun? But you don't notice the shift until you're working on elevating yourself, and then you see a drastic drop in your energy. So if you're already in a lower state and you drink alcohol, it can make you forget and not care.
It could actually raise your state depending on how low your average frequency
you could also raise your state. So me and you used to drink alcohol, and I used to have so much fun. I was
yeah,
like,
when
what do
we
you
were
mean?
younger.
I was never insecure. It made me less insecure. All these things. And it wasn't until we started getting really spiritual that I'm like, oh, it's bringing out a really weird side of me. I don't like it. Yeah. I started being more insecure, more thinking what I was going to say, or more like, am I looking comfortable? Yeah. It was like bringing out a negative side. So then the only way now we can drink is if we do this prayer. Yeah. So it's interesting for anyone that's on their spiritual journey and is working on elevating themselves. And I think, I think at some point a lot of people start to get to a place where they're like, why am I even drinking? Which is something we've contemplated a lot with. And I think me and you
we're
drink.
just now it's like special occasions or like if we're with people that, because I always notice I was like, if I'm drinking to make it better, then I don't want to do it. I only want to be with people that I enjoy and it's worth that time of doing it. Otherwise I'm like, I'm trying to make something fun. Like, no.
It's like not worth it. So okay, let's go back into signs. So your number is 999.
Yeah.
My number is 444. I'm going to go into angel numbers and what they mean from my perspective, and then you can also say yours. But I think everyone's going to see angel numbers and relate a little bit differently to what they mean for them. Mm-hmm. But my original teachings of it, and then you can obviously, the part I'm saying you can change into what speaks to you, is once you know the core of it, I think when you see it, it's always going to resemble something else depending on where you are in your life. So 111 could be like, watch out, you're manifesting whatever you're thinking. Or it could be keep going. You're manifesting whatever you're thinking. So it could be a positive or a negative depending on where you are at in that moment. So if you're negative,
notice how you're feeling.
Yeah, so if you're like thinking, complaining or speaking negatively and you see 111, it's like, okay, wait, look at my thoughts. Oh yeah, I don't want to manifest this. Or it could be like, you're aligned, your thoughts are aligned, you are being positive, this is good. And then 222 is let go and have faith. So a lot of times if I'm stressing or I'm worried, it's like, just let go and have faith.
Or if you're trying to control it.
Yeah, or if you're trying to control a situation. Or it could be a positive on soulmates. If you see 222 a lot and you've met a guy, a lot of times it could be your soul is connecting with another soul. So it could be a soulmate thing. 333 is, they say, ascendant masters, so like higher beings, whether those are like whatever you believe in, God, angels, so forth, they're around you, they're aligned with you, and or it could mean your mind, body, and spirit are all aligned. And then 444 is all about like hard work. Angels are around you and surrounding you. For me, because my 444 is like my life path number and it's the one I see all the time, it's like I know that like everything I'm going to is happening for a reason. That's like my, like, okay, 444, it's happening for a reason. I'm in the right moment. That's what it means to me. If it's your number or your life path. But 555 is going through transformation or change. So like it could be like a huge change is coming, or you're transforming within inside yourself. 666 is materialistic things. Obviously, everyone looks at 666 as bad, but sometimes you could be dwelling on something materialistic, and then 666 is a reminder to be like, okay, maybe you should let go of the material things and like stop focusing on like physical stuff and just, you know, you're dwelling too much on stuff that doesn't matter physical, maybe as much. Yeah. Or you could see, sorry, I can kind of confuse people. You could see 888, which means abundance, and then you could see 666, which could mean 888 is money, abundance. You're seeing 666 in the physical. So I look at 666 as physical manifestations, and 888 is abundance. So if you put those two together and you see them back to back, it could be like you're manifesting more abundance on the physical. Mm-hmm. So you could start to like pair the numbers. Yeah. 777 means you're on the right path or you're aligned. 888 is abundance. It could be abundance in love, wealth, health, money. 999 is you're beginning a chapter or you're closing a chapter. So you've learned the right lesson or you're about to start a new chapter of your life. 000 is infinite. So like everything is always changing, always always going, like there's no ending. So it's just always going. So it's like infinite.
Yeah. And what I started doing too, just to make that easier for you, is what I do is I talk to my ChatGPT about a lot of like things that I'm working on and like get help from my ChatGPT. So then now whenever I am going through certain experiences and I keep seeing like 999, or lately I've been seeing 777 a lot, I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, hey, what does 777 mean based off of what you know about what's been going on with me lately?
That's such a good point.
Holy shit, it's just like so much more on point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you just reminded me of when I kept seeing the cats everywhere. Remember? And did I tell you that I looked it up on ChatGPT? I basically like, I don't even remember it specifically, but like you could literally look up signs to the point where like I'm driving the car, I see a black cat, it's a black and white cat crossing me. I look up, you know, what is the black cat crossing me to the left, black and white cat, to have to do with, and then I say the situation I'm going through, and then it completely aligns. And then the next day I went to go see my little sisters and we were going on a walk and I saw an orange cat sitting in the window. And then I was like, okay, what does it mean now that I see an orange cat sitting in the window? And then it was like telling me how even the fact that it was sitting looking out through a window, what that could mean into my life and where I'm perceiving my world from. So it goes into such detail.
Yeah. It means crazy. That I literally on my walk 2 days ago, I saw a dead like smushed lizard, like completely dead, and I was just like, okay, gross. And then I went over it and I looked up what that meant, and then it meant like I was transitioning from an old phase that I'm working on a new project lately, so it made sense. I'm getting rid of an old mask that I was wearing, and now I'm becoming more authentically me. And it was wild because right after the dead one, a live one went past, and it was like literally told me, you're birthing a new idea. I was like, Jesus, I literally went dead. And then I saw a live one right after. I was like, oh. So
That's cool.
It was sick.
Yeah, so it's like, I think that if anyone's listening to this and they're like, all right, cool, you're really seeing signs. I think the real thing to look at it like is like, the way to have this start to happen or to be open to this is kind of going back to your childlike self, like being a kid and playing with the world and playing with the universe and realizing we're all just in a simulation or some kind of giant like game. We all came down to play this game of life, and it's fun to be here potentially, and we want to see what it's like to feel love and to feel sadness and ups and downs and all the different emotions that we get to live on this game of life. And so when you start to be a little bit more playful, like you're playing a game, and the world is actually working with you through law of attraction or the different things you believe, then you can kind of be like, okay, you know, my thoughts are creating my reality, and the universe is working with me to show me back what my thoughts are creating. And so now you can kind of be like, okay, today I'm just going to play one big game. Yeah. And I would like to see that I've been thinking about quitting my job, and I don't know if it's the right move or not. So I'm just going to allow the universe to show me. Universe, I allow you to completely take over. I feel lost with this subject, and I don't know what to do. So I allow you to take this over. I know you know what's best to do with it. Show me a clear sign that if I'm supposed to leave my job, that I'm going to, then you would show me
some type of animal or
an animal, or you have someone come to me offering me a business opportunity or saying to me, it could be different things. It could be like, show me this animal if I am, and show me this animal if I'm not. Show me this number if I am, show me this number if I'm not. Show me, have someone bring an opportunity to me about, oh yeah, we're hiring for this, or mentioning a new job to me so that I know, okay, new job. Like you can ask for it in whatever way you feel is most like aligned for you.
Some people do it through music too, so that's something. Yeah. I always used to get lyrics through music that were like perfectly synced up to exactly what I was going through.
Yeah, and I think that the thing is that when you first are trying to get your first signs from the universe, it's going to feel hard, and then people can get down and then they don't believe it's true. Yeah. So I think that you have to just allow yourself to, again, go back to stop trying to control and letting go, letting yourself be at ease with what ways the best signs are going to come to you.
And right? At first, even if it feels fake, I think that's kind of like with anything that you're taking on. At first, it may feel fake. Like first, you could be like, okay, at first I am just going to start looking at license plates, and I am going to notice like 333, or I am going to like force myself to be aware of these things. But then over time, you're not even going to need to look anymore. It's just going to happen where for some reason, you're like, I decided to look right or left right now, and then I like saw a huge sign. It's like, it's going to come more organically, where it's like you're just going to notice it becomes stronger. At first, you just force yourself to start looking for signs, but then over time, you won't need to look anymore. They're just going to come to you.
And a prayer you can also say for that is please make it completely obvious to me. Yeah. Like, help me be able to see it.
Help me believe it.
Yeah.
Because how much better is life now that you do this? Because I think that's important for why they should even do it.
Yeah. I feel like I would feel so lonely if I didn't know the universe was working with us. Yeah. I'd feel so lonely and lost. And there's a lot of times I feel lonely and lost, and then that's my reminder that I'm not taking care of myself and connecting and meditating and being more caring about my mental health, or doing the things that bring me closer to the universe and my higher self and my angels. And so it's like, if any time I'm not doing that, I feel more lost and feel more like, what's the point of life, or depressed, or you start to feel those feelings because you're so out of tune with something bigger than yourself. And I feel like when you start to connect with knowing there's something bigger, life feels more aligned and more hopeful for something more.
I always notice too, whenever sometimes I'm going through a big transition in life and I get very depressed. Sometimes you get very depressed before something big is about to happen, because you're shedding like old skin or beliefs. And I noticed that also with the female period. That was wild for me lately, because I'm going through a transition right now. But women, obviously, when we get our period, what I learned is that the reason why our feelings are so intensified is because we're made this way to feel whatever is going on in our life. So if you're going through a pain at that time, like mentally, you're going through something, and then your period amplifies it. So you're like way more sensitive on it. And I used to always be like, oh, Tash, it's just your period. You're being hormonal. Like, don't cry. Like, you're fine. And then this last one, I was like, no, why do you have a period? Like, what's going on spiritually? And then when I saw it, it amplifies your feelings so then you can release.
Yeah, so it's
that
like supposed to bring up what
Yeah.
you're sad about and your
Yeah.
emotions so that you could cry on it and face it and heal through it.
And actually shed that part of you, or shed whatever happened that full month of your cycle. So I did it this time, and I was going through a depressing part because I was just like, why am I waking up sad? I almost felt like, what's the point? And I was like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized it's my period. It amplified. I cried my ass off that day. I just allowed myself to cry because usually I'm like trying to fight it, and I allowed myself to cry. And afterwards I felt like a whole new woman. I was like, I'm so excited about life again. And I was like, let's fucking take the day on. It was like night and day difference once I just allowed myself to feel the feelings and release it. So
Another
cool.
like message I just got from the universe, was a thing that came down to me right now, is that when you're speaking, it's so like nice to hear that there's times where you're feeling depressed or lost or bad, because like people would just, people just assume about someone that's like more spiritual or doing well in their career or just only seeing from the outside that, life
don't
is
have hard days.
Yeah, you don't have hard days or you don't get depressed. But I think that's like so human to realize that like no matter where you are in your life and no matter what you think someone else has, we're all struggling to get up the next day and choose to have a good life, or choose to make ourselves, more aligned on our path, or go after our goals, or have hope for a better future. We're all, having to do the work. No matter where you are,
no matter what, no matter how successful, if you're in a relationship, you're single. Like, that was, I think, a hard pill to swallow, because I think once I became more spiritual, I was like, shouldn't I just be like happy all the time now? But then you have no growth if you're not
And also, if everything was just perfect, and this is why I always think that there's something more on the other side. And I think that we chose to come down here, which we've talked about, is because imagine if on the other side, everything you could have whenever you wanted, because we're all just made up of energy. And if we go back into our soul body and we can just live in the spirit energy where everything is, then it's probably not as exciting, because you could just have whatever you want.
And everything is bliss. So after a while,
Yes, like they say, the other side feels like the most love they've ever felt. If you looked into people that felt like, near-death experiences, like, it was the most loving feeling I've ever felt. I can't even explain the amount of love that I felt. It's like, yeah, because everything could just feel like it is. So like maybe we chose down to come here to actually experience sadness so that we can experience happiness, or so we can experience struggle, or we can. So when you start to look at it that way, like, oh, okay, like the journey, I wanted this journey. And sometimes I think as I've gotten older, and I think this is what I've started to realize, the beauty of getting older, is you slowly start to realize that there's something so beautiful in the now, because the now is not permanent. And when you get older, like, you look back at your life and you look back at kids our age and you're just like, wow, they have it all. They don't realize they have it all. They don't see that, like, they have their friends they're going out with or hanging out with, or they get to figure out what they're doing in their career. They don't realize that they have it all, And I've been realizing that a lot lately. Like, wow, one day I'm going to be old
and look
back at me now. And it's like, now I feel like I'm really having a hard time with it, because I'm like, well, now I want to like hold on to like you being my sister and not being married with kids yet, and you living with
I know
me.
she was getting jealous of like my future kid. She's like, I'm not going to be your little baby.
Yeah, I was
sister.
like, but then I'm not going to be your baby anymore if you have a baby. Because I'm used to me being your baby. So, like, then there's something so beautiful in the journey of getting to everything we want. And so, yeah, I think that we're all trying to, like, rush through to the next thing. But then,
Not
there's something
enjoying the
beautiful in
journal
just
in the
being
now.
a part of the now, too.
No, I agree. I think that's beautiful. And I think, even for myself, I'm trying to get myself to be more present. And even in hard times, reminding myself that I do a thing where whenever something really hard is going on, I always tell myself, ooh, something really good is about to just happen. Like, something sick is coming right around the corner. Because now I know you don't have hard times. It's building you. So I see it as like when I'm going through a depressing day or whatever is going on, it's getting me to transition. It's building me to be stronger, to handle what's next. So I'm always just like, oh, something good's happening. Something good's
Yeah.
coming.
And then my other piece of this that you just made me think of again was the only difference between everyone is like, we all have hard times. Like we just said, every single person. So the only difference is, are like you going to get up and believe in something more, whether that is that the universe is working with you, or that is that you believe that you are creating your own reality, or that is that you believe that you can have your dream, or that if you worked on this thing that you can get there. Whatever it is that you need to get yourself to believe in, that's the only difference from you and the other person you're looking at that you felt like has gone there. That's the only difference.
Because the opposite is what, like,
just being
no hope.
Yeah, no hope. And then that leads to depression and feeling
Dwelling
like, what's the point of life? And like, and those are like feelings everyone has felt. And so I think that it's great to just see. I think that what has helped me and you, and why we like signs so much, is because it helps us believe in something more.
Yeah. And it does help me feel more confident in the path that I'm in. Like whenever I'm doing things, it's nice to get a little reminder every once in a while. Like, no, you're good. This is the right path. Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So this is your sign to look into signs and realize that you are watching this episode because it is a sign that you should be aligned with your signs, and that the universe wants you to start looking into this.
Really
No,
is.
but seriously, it is. It sounds stupid, but it really is. Everything is leading you to the path to discover more of yourself, and whatever way you need to get there, you should journey into. So, Tashi, tell us where you can find you.
You can find me at Tosh 9 p.m. on all socials.
And if you like these types of episodes and you want us to talk more about this type of stuff, comment below. You know, we read all your comments and we love having sister sessions. So we love you guys so much, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.